Wait, is that recording? Yeah, it is. Hey guys, it's Jay Morris, the most professional and efficient person you will ever meet in your life, especially on YouTube. Don't deny that I am the most professional YouTuber there is. Okay, that is the biggest lie I have ever told. Anyways, welcome back to List Week. Sorry. Yesterday I started List Week, and it's where I'm doing a list revolving around music, genres, bands, artists, leading up until next Friday to give you guys more of kind of an opinion and some sight on what it is I do and what I listen to. I have a very eclectic listening style, and although there are certain genres that I seem to cover more, there's so many albums that I listen to that are in different genres that I don't cover. So I was like, hey, someone requested this, and I can branch out even more and talk about some other genres that I like. So, yesterday you can go check out my top was it five? Yes, top five favorite deathcore bands if you're curious about that. But if heavy metal is really not for you, if you're more of a soft listener, a more experimental listener, this will be the list for you, because today I'm going to be counting down my top five favorite electronic artists and bands. So electronic music I feel like is pretty definable, but there's a lot of different genres within it. So we are talking about, different genres within the genre, but it's all experimental electronic music. And just kind of like how I liked progressive music when it comes to deathcore, I like a lot of experimental electronic music, as you will see as we get into this list. But there are also some other bits and pieces of little tiny, normal, like electronic bands that you will certainly know and have heard of. So let's get this list rolling with number five. So number five is going to be I See Stars. So this is the only kind of heavier band on the list, and nowadays they're more rock anyway. I See Stars does something that very few bands can really do. They're a rock and metal band, metal in their kind of origins, but now they're more rockish. That kind of mix in electronic music within their sound, and it's a very cool sound to have these breakdowns playing and these different rock and metal type of riffs being played with electronic synth leads in the backgrounds and keyboard playing, especially on previous albums prior to Treehouse, which I just covered a bit ago. And New Demons is a good example of that. New Demons, in my opinion, very good album, very great electronicore album, and electronicore in general is a great genre. I considered putting Palisades on here, but I chose Icy Stars because I've definitely listened to Icy Stars more, and although I really do enjoy Palisades, maybe if I listened to them more, they could have overtaken this spot. But yeah, moving on from there. So number four is going to be Sophie. So Sophie released an album this year, and it has the most weird title, and I'm trying to recall it. I covered it not too long ago. It's okay. Paraphrasing, might get this wrong. It's like pearl of every unsides or something. That's like every pearl of every unsides. It's a very strange title. In fact, one second, I'm going to go find this out. Hey guys, back. Sorry, no time's passed for you. Why am I acting like I didn't just do a jump cut? Anyways, it's Oil of Every Pearl's Unsides. So she released that great album, and prior to that, she was known for these bombastic, just out there experimental electronic tracks that just were insane, abrasive, experimental as all hell, and just had so much going behind them with these roaring type of synth leads and strange samplings. I mean, she's a producer. She produces a lot of her own music, if not all, and she produces for other people too, some big people, and she's collaborated with a lot of people. And I really respect where she comes from too, as well, because she's a big member of like the LGBTQ plus community, and she recently came out as a transgender. I mean, she pretty much was before then, but only recently has she kind of embraced it and went towards different type of sounds. Now, on her new album, you still have those bombastic tracks that are really out there, such as Pony Boy, which comes right after I think the first track on that album, called It's Okay to Cry, which is a very good track, probably one of my favorite tracks I've heard this year in general. And it really shows a lot of confidence, it shows a lot of humbleness, and it shows the fact that she's not going to let that push her down as an artist and will continue making just amazing music, and I can really respect her for that. So, moving on from there, number 3 is going to be Daft Punk. Was there any question at all that I was going to put Daft Punk on this list? They're the electronic band that everyone knows, that everyone likes. It's kind of difficult not to like them. They make just these really snappy, really catchy, hit electronic songs. I mean, I remember back when I was younger, this would have came out a long time ago, man. This would have came out a long time ago. I would have been a lot younger. It was Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. That's a great track. And didn't Kanye West make a remix of that called Stronger that got even higher on the charts than the original? And of course, Daft Punk has songs like Get Lucky. They collaborated with The Weeknd on Starboy, and overall, I just really love their composition. Their instrumentation is fantastic, and I almost put some dubstep people on this list, people like Deadmau5, like Skrillex, but I could not look past just the classic electronic kind of synthy, somewhat dubstep at times, but more so just bubbly, happy electronic music that Daft Punk makes. And they're a very easy choice, they're a very safe choice, and it's not really like the type of thing that you have to be in a certain mindset or mood. They kind of fit everything, and you're going to probably enjoy them either way because their songs are easy to follow, their songs have good lyricism, albeit simple. They have great progression in their music and just overall make great albums. So I wanted to make a quick message before I go on to the top 2. In preparation for this list, I ran into an issue that I have never ran into before. I basically have a tie that's not a tie. These top 2 could be interchanged so much, and when I was thinking about making this list, I had absolutely no clue which one I was going to put in which spot, and I knew these were the top 2 right away, 100%. I knew these were the top 2, but I ran into the kind of roadblock of which one do I like more. So please take these 2 with a grain of salt in terms of which one's which, because I honestly have stopped trying to swap them out. But the only reason that number 1 inched a bit ahead is because of just nostalgia of listening to them when I was younger and just that nostalgia. But number 2 is going to be Churches, or CVRCHES. Churches is fantastic. Churches is great. Lauren Mayberry has one of the cutest voices that I have ever heard in my life. She has just this, and if you've ever watched like live shows, I watched a live stream where they were performing somewhere, and they were having like some mic difficulties, and she was just like telling jokes and being really personable, and she seems like a really great person. And this is a Scottish band, they're from Glasgow, and they make this synth pop indie tronica type music that just is so catchy. It just sticks in your mind. It's like a worm, and these tracks are led with these powerful synths, these bubbly synths, these 80s sounding infused synths with more modern take, more modern production, very well mixed on every single track, every single album. And then you have Lauren Mayberry, just her voice is so ethereal and so haunting, but so like cute and bubbly and up there, like bubblegum pop type of singing. And she has great just range, she has a great voice, the lyricism of this band is great, and Churches overall is just such a great band. I can't praise this band enough, and I'd love to cover some of their albums on this channel if I get the chance. But that leads us to number 1. If I talk so highly of Churches, what could be higher? Like I said, just there's such a small distinction between number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is Depeche Mode. So you gotta go with the classics, man. And the classics of like electronic music, although there is like proto bands from like the 70s, and even if you go back to the 60s, there were people that were experimenting with some strange stuff. Man, Depeche Mode is so catchy. And they made my favorite electronic album one sec, I actually own it. It's this one. I don't know if that's focusing really well, but it's Violator. And Violator is so good. I mean, it has so many classic electronic songs that just have these iconic, just completely iconic instrumentations on it. I mean, you get like it's slipping my mind. The World in My Eyes. Just like when he's just in his voice. I don't know the lead singer's voice, but he has such a distinct voice when he's just like, show you the world in my eyes. And you hear the synth in the background, and it's like, ooh, and it fades off into, like, they do that throughout the song. I'm really explaining this bad. Please go listen to that song. But there's just endless things I could say about Churches and Depeche Mode. But overall, this video's been long enough. I think it's time to stop it. You could go check these bands out yourself and check them out. I definitely recommend all of them, and we're continuing list week. So if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comment section below, but I have a lot ready. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. My name is Jay Morse, Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell. Oh no, what's your mama gonna say when I tell her that I broke your heart? Things aren't the way that they used to be.